Hi guys, Sean here from WeSup. I'm just here to talk to you about a really exciting new partnership that we have with LUUM paddleboards. I want to talk to you about the all-day board hire. So the all-day board rental, family, whoever you take paddleboarding, the freedom to go paddleboard in some of the most spectacular and safest waters in the whole of the country. And you're going to do it on some of the best equipment that money can buy. Okay, so this is everything that you're going to find inside of that bag, and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to set it up and to pack it back down. Here we go. Okay guys, so you're going to start with your fin and you're going to start with your paddleboard, okay? So when you get your board, you're going to find it's just clipped together, so just undo the clip, and all you're going to do is just going to roll your paddleboard out. Boom. So what you're looking at is an 11'6" touring board. It is incredible quality. Unlike the cheap, really poorly manufactured boards, this board has got a really nice thick rail, it's nice and wide at the shoulders, and it's really rigid. It's going to be the best bit of kit that you can get that's going to make sure your paddleboarding experience is everything that you hope it's going to be, all right? This is how we're going to set it up. Okay, so your pump has two pieces, your pump and your tube. You're going to connect the screw bit onto here, just like this. You're then going to click this into the valve. The way this works is you just simply make sure there's no sand on it. You're going to want to make sure springy, push it in, turn it a quarter of a turn, and that locks it in. Now, if your valve, that bit is not springy, once you've inflated the board, if you then take that out, you'll find the air will completely spill back out. So that's why it's so important that when you start, that valve is springy, okay? Quarter of a turn. Okay, so before you start pumping, you want to make sure that the pump is on the right setting. You got a little valve here. You got single action over to the left and double action over to the right. The double action means that you pump air in. If it was only over on the single, you only pump air in on the depress, which means it would take you twice as long to pump the board up, okay? So, set the valve to double, then you can start pumping. Okay, right, so, as you're pumping, you'll be thinking this gauge isn't moving, all right? This gauge needs to have the needle showing to 16 PSI. It takes about 6 to 8 minutes to pump a board up from 0 to fully inflated. So if you think to yourself, this valve is broken, it is not, all right? You haven't done enough pumping. So you need to eyes on, 16 PSI, you're gonna have to work for it. Okay, time to put the fin in. We're gonna take the bolt plate. We're gonna slide that in to the fin box. Using our screw, we're just gonna slide that up to the front of the fin box. We're then going to take our fin. There's a little rod on the back here. Push it into this groove, slot it in, push it back, and then you're going to push the fin down into the box so that you can see through the hole that the screw is going to go into the fin bolt plate. Give it a little wriggle, and then screw it all the way in until it's finger tight. Don't over tighten it, but make sure that it's definitely finger tight. So really quickly, just to explain the board, we've got the nose, right? That's the front of the board. You've got these bungee nets. That's to put any backpacks or anything, any like towels or anything you want to take off on a journey, water bottles, anything like that, that will go under either of these bungees. This gray area, the grip deck, that's where you're going to stand. This is what we call the sweet spot, okay? So where the handle is, which is obviously where you carry the board just like this. This is where you're gonna have your knees or your feet, all right? Either side of this handle all the time. If you're too far forward, the board won't turn very well. And if you're too far back, you find that it will turn a lot. At the back of the board, you've got another handle here, which is ideal for carrying it in or out of the water. And then you've got your leash, all right? The leash is the most important bit of safety kit that we give you. This one goes around your ankle. You may well get one that goes around your waist if you're paddling on the river. Either way, when you're on the water, This must be attached to you at all times. You never go onto the water without wearing your leash, okay? So just make sure you're happy how it works. Either ankle, doesn't really matter which one. Just put it around the one that you feel most comfortable reaching to. And this will keep you connected to what is essentially your life raft, right? So whenever you're on the water, leash on at all times. Last but not least is your paddle, okay? This is a 3-piece paddle. 1-piece, 2-piece, and 3-piece for the shaft. The way it clicks together, really simple. Just undo the catch, push it in, and you'll see there's a little button here. You want to push the button in, see that click into place, close the catch. This top catch, this gives you your adjustment, all right? You want to have your paddle so it's adjusted, arm is just of a right angle. That's pretty spot on for most paddlers. Last but not least is your buoyancy aid, okay? Your buoyancy aid is going to keep you afloat in that moment of cold water shock. If you fall in, forget how to breathe and forget how to swim and all that sort of stuff, this will keep you afloat. It's got 50 newtons of buoyancy. It will keep everyone afloat, all right? You want to make sure all the clasps are done up and that it feels nice and snug. That way, when you do fall in, this is definitely going to do its job. Now, it is absolutely essential that you wear this when you're out in the water. It's a non-negotiable. I know it's going to mess with your suntan lines and all the rest of that stuff, but this is a really key, fundamental point of your safety. Nobody knows when they're going to experience cold water shock, and it is real. Even if it's really sunny, in fact, especially when it's really sunny, the difference from being in the warm air and then ending up accidentally in the cold sea, that can cause you to go into shock, and we don't want that for you, all right? So keep your buoyancy aids on. Buoyancy aids and your leash, paramount to your safety, all right? Okay, and that's it. You're all set up and you're ready to go into the water. Just remember, keep your buoyancy aids on at all times. Keep your leash on, it goes around your ankle. Doesn't matter which one, just put it around the one that feels most comfortable. Then, once you've got into the water, make sure you carry the board all the way in until you're about knee deep. If you get on the board too early, the fin will be on the beach, you might break it, all right? And I don't want that for you and I don't want that for that board. Other than that, have a great time, stay safe, happy paddling.